Well, in the last video I said if Russia wants to take Ukrainian territory to form a buffer away from NATO's nuclear arsenal, then they're going to have to lengthen the front rather than take ground more quickly. So they're taking ground at the same rate as they had been through spring, winter, but they've only extended the front around the Sumy region, not along the whole border. So they're going to be continuing slowly then. Well, as for Israel, well, the US, the NATO, they're controlled by Israel. They want globalisation. That means finding some trumped-up charge to invade, but make it look like they're the defensive ones. They have to take over this country and kill everyone because there's no other choice, because they're hostile, they're an existential threat, all that bullshit. But basically they're thugs, they're evil, they have to justify their atrocities, and as such, now that they've invaded Iran, which I am surprised that they didn't put up a good missile defence, but then again, it was very strategic and well planned, the attack, because I believe their anti-missile defences, that's Iran's anti-missile defences, were taken out by drones before, well, the West relies on aircraft, which is a bit dodgy. Aircraft should only be used in standoff distances to launch missiles just to extend their range. But Israel was flying planes into other territories, Jordan, Egypt, to launch their missiles because they're not really they're not, the range on them is not as much as the more advanced nations such as Russia with their Kinzhals and hypersonics. So they've got their aircraft there over foreign territory like Jordan. So they're basically just outside the border of Iran when they can't go into Iran. Planes are sitting ducks these days. They're just even a Patriot missile can shoot down an aircraft. But anyway, so once the anti-aircraft weapons were taken out by drones, then they launched their missiles and they pretty much hit their targets. Obviously this is to start World War III. Israel of course with their inversion reality, they're the existential threat, but they have to pitch this preemptive, this code for unprovoked invasion or unprovoked attack. They call it preemptive because they have to invert the truth. So because Iran knows that Israel is looking for every reason to go to war and annex them with the help of the USA, my suggestion for Iran would be to do nothing at the moment, but leverage it as a way to boost support from other countries such as Russia. Obviously, Iran has a problem with having Mossad usurp their population, dress up as an Arab and go and find out what they need to know so they can identify targets. I think Iran should be clamping down on that, that's for sure. They should even have decoys, the fake nuclear scientists. And these nuclear scientists are just, they want, I think, nuclear power is a window into developing a nuclear weapon, but it's still not. And therefore there's no justification. But as I said, Israel doesn't need a justification, they just make one up to attack nuclear facilities in Russia that are not weapons grade. They're just there to generate power. So of course you need, as I said, Israel just wants a reason. So that's the only reason they've got. If there was no nuclear power or facilities being made in Iran, they would have found another reason. So it doesn't make any difference. They have to manufacture a cause. As I said, they're just psychopaths. They're just evil to the core. They're Satanists. The religion, the doctrine is based on satanic verses, basically. If you if there was a satanic Bible, it would be very much like the Talmud. So that's what you're dealing with. So knowing that this was a major invasion or strike to pretty much bait Iran into war, which is what Israel wants, I wouldn't do it. I would use it as a PR against Israel, because their name is mud anyway, because they can't hide the fact that they're psycho killers with what they're doing in Gaza. Even the lefties realise that now. They're just the woke have finally awakened. So I'd go push the PR button pretty hard to expose Israel for what they are, and I wouldn't go to war straight away. No, I wouldn't retaliate. And if you do retaliate, we've got to plan something similar to what Israel has done and what the US has done recently in Russia at that air base where they put drones in subversively, take out the planes. That didn't really do much, but that kind of thing is what Iran should be doing, and they should be using it to leverage support from our neighbours, saying, look, we're going to get annihilated in a nuclear holocaust, which is what Israel do. Israel will say, oh, we've got no choice, we're going to have to send some nukes and blow up Iran. That's the reality of the situation. So they should leverage this, not go to war yet, leverage this to get support from other Muslim countries like Pakistan. So they want to kill us all. You'll be next. If it's after us, it'll be you, it'll be Russia, it'll be China. Well, they've already tried in Russia, haven't they? With the Ukraine war. That was to, they thought that the economy would collapse, they'd lose way too many casualties, soldiers rather. Yes, as casualties is the correct English for that. And completely stuff it up and Putin would get overthrown. The reverse has happened there. The West is delusional. They're not as powerful as they think they are. The hubris, ignorance and contempt for others is their weakness. So Iran should be patient and use this to invite help from others. They need nukes, otherwise they're going to get nuked.